class, although he also would not like her to waste her tuition money by failing this practical exam. The young dwarf was fairly certain she had not finished fixing the pressure cooker. She had opened it and discovered a fuse had been snipped. When she'd replaced it, the LED display on the front of the pressure cooker remained dark. A furtive glance confirmed that those students with the same kind of device seemed to be doing better. Their machines counted down or alerted the users to the level of pressure the contents were under. She was worried she had missed something else. Professor Swope had said there might be 2 or even 3 things wrong with each of the broken appliances, but she had been thoroughly distracted by her doodling. Now the professor was at the next table over. There was nothing to be done now but hope that the screen lit up when she plugged it in. Vala connected the power cable to the receptacle, pressed the relevant button on the pressure cooker, and was immediately zapped by enough electricity to blacken one of her fingernails and make her already frizzy hair stand on end. "Son of a moose!" she bellowed, before she shoved it off the table. "To the depths with you, cursed appliance!" she yelled, and wished she could make the glorified cooking pot skitter away from her. To her shock, it did. Something rose from deep within her, somewhere near where the son of a moose curse came from, she assumed, and went into the pressure cooker. It responded immediately. Wires extended from its broken casing, scratched at the tiled floor, and began to drag it away from her. Professor?" one of the other students asked, and his voice rose in pitch over the 4 syllables. "I'll be right there, Dogo," Professor Swope replied absent-mindedly. "I don't know if that will be necessary, sir," Dogo replied as the toaster on the table in front of him used its springs to hop across the counter. "Oh, dear marmots and minks," Vala mumbled as she looked across the classroom. 22 appliances in front of 22 engineering students had all, somehow, come to life. Blenders spun away from those tasked with replacing their blades. Coffee makers ejected their pots, which shattered on the floor. The student working on a remote control watched as the car streaked off her work table and performed a double backflip before it landed and raced out the door of the class. "There is no need to panic, class! No need to panic!" Professor Swope said over the din of electric motors, heating elements, and beeping touchpads. "Evacuate the room! Leave your projects where they are, or where they are going, I suppose. Do not touch that blender! No, I don't care that your skin can withstand dragon's fire. I will not have you lose a finger in my classroom!" Despite the chaos of the moving appliances, the class proceeded to evacuate in a fairly orderly manner. By the time Vala stepped into the hallway, the moment was over. The appliances stopped grinding, heating, and beeping, and the room settled into calm again. "Professor, I hope that won't count against our final grade," Dogo whined. No, not at all. Although for those of you I did not get to, we will have a retest." "What happened, Professor?" Vala asked, quite concerned that he would offer the same answer she had in mind. "Magic happened. Someone using magic nearby went a little overboard or lost control of their spell, that's all. There are disadvantages to allowing mages to escape to Canada, you know. Even though their magic can't directly impact dwarves, the, side effects of their experiments are sometimes chaotic." Professor Swope paused for a moment and seemed to feel the need to backtrack. "Not that I have anything against mages, of course. I don't think we dwarves would be nearly as successful without mages in our communities, but sometimes they muck about with things and cause an upswell in magic, like the one we experienced. Why, I remember once, this was long before any of your time and long before the Steel Dragon's revolution, a group of mages came to town to hide from dragons. We sheltered them, of course, but they were discovered because they had changed all the smoke in town to different colors. It wasn't hard for the dragons trying to bring them home to find them. What with all the hot pink or lime green smoke pouring from the chimneys of the homes where they were hiding." He chuckled at the memory, before something darker about those times came to mind. His expression settled into a scowl, and he shook his head as if to brush the memory away. "What happened to those mages, Professor?" Vala asked. "Ask your history, Professor."